I've had enough excitement for one day.
What was that? Someone in there?
There's a beaver in the bathroom! Kill it! Yuck. Can we please go swimming now? Ever occurred to any of you that there might be more beavers?
The fuck?
Is that blood?
Holy shit!
Never seen a real beaver before close.
Well, maybe you should try going down on me once in a while, Bo.
We cannot turn against each other right now. That is exactly what the beavers would want.
So let's talk about some Zombeavers. I talked about movies that sort of are sold on their premise. When I heard of the concept of a movie called Zombeavers,
You didn't hear a concept, you heard the word.
Zombeavers, sold. I remember similarly when I heard about another Kiwi movie called Black Sheep, about zombie sheep. When I heard the premise, I was like, yep, I'll be watching that. And I do recommend Black Sheep. But it's one of these things that you're kind of flipping a coin when you watch it, because yeah, they're going to deliver the premise, but is that going to be enough to sustain a movie? And in
Usually not. And I'm even referencing later Romero.
Yeah. They know exactly what they are. They know that they're about crazy puppet zombies. They know they're about...
They were puppets?
Yeah. Exploitating, young actors, and a lot of titty and a lot of,
Not a lot of titty. A lot of skin, not a lot of titty.
A lot of sexuality, anyway. And at a very lean 1 hour and 17 minutes,
True.
It really makes a point of not overstaying its welcome.
They squeezed every minute for what it was worth, I thought.
I have a hard time saying Zombeavers is an amazing movie. You should totally check it out. But Zombeavers is definitely Zombeavers, and it delivers on the promise of its title. So, if you're interested to see Zombeavers, here it is for you.
Do it with your friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, maybe watch this movie.
Yeah, I don't know how to review it beyond really saying that. It's kind of a tough cookie to crack for me because,
Okay, I just gotta state it this way because, like I said, sometimes I'm a nerd and I write notes, and it's because I had to grab a pen and paper for just the introduction. I rewound it and watched it 3 times
because of how funny
before the rest of the movie even started. I had to take a breath. No. Go back to my kitchen, get a beer, come back, drink the beer watching it. Because the transport dudes were fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, it must have been mostly riffed or something, because the delivery is so casual that it made me think that they were just saying shit to, make each other laugh. If
Bill
you're
Burr plays the motor mouth of the two, the guy who does the bulk of the talking. He's a brilliant stand-up comedian.
I didn't recognize him because, it was just such a lackadaisical setup. And, the guy with the cheesy mustache and stuff. But it was just... It was so beautiful that it's what you expect from a B movie, but with A movie delivery. It absolutely set the bar. And I was like, if this is just the intro to show how the medical waste or whatever gets into the water, what am I set up for, right? Yeah. And I'm like, this must have been a fluke. So I had to rewind it, which kids these days don't understand. I had to go backwards in the film and watch it again. And I was just sort of like... It was beautiful, and then even the outtakes at the end of the movie, it's just them trying to not crack up, right? And it was beautiful, you dated a guy, tell me all about it. It was just, and I was like, if this is the level of just subtle genius humor, what's the rest gonna be like? So it really did set the bar high for me at that point. Zombeavers, bar set high. That was it was a dichotomy of expectation.
I am uncomfortable disagreeing entirely with what you say here, but I don't think the word subtle or genius would ever trip out of my mouth with reference to Zombeavers.
And here's the thing, I watch a lot of stand-up, I enjoy a lot of comedy and stuff like that, and just the fact that it was so casually delivered. Nowadays, everything that's given as a joke is a pause and a soundtrack.
You can almost hear them going, ah?
I know, and it really sickens me, but they don't waste a beat, right? And just the fact that it's such a cheesy movie, and the setup is they're gonna drop waste somewhere, it's gonna get in, it's gonna affect the beavers, but it was just
These two
we
idiots,
had a day to film this. Let's just have fun, like it was nice.
These two idiots are responsible for all the violence in the film due to their
Idiot savant.
just numb indifference to the world around them. And by the time you've forgotten about them, they come back into the movie.
It was
again.
beautifully capped. Like, it was a full circle, right? That's
Yeah.
how it felt to me. And I don't think that a lot of, like, shitty-ass, cheesy B movies and stuff think about that. But they did. And I thought it was really nicely done. And like you said, it was a cameo, essentially, by this guy that unless you know who the fuck he is, you're just like, oh, what? Which was me. I didn't know. I had to look them up after. That's how impressive they were.
Yeah, but we're totally over the moon for the first 10 minutes.
Oh, for sure. The rest of it, shit. And then the end scene where we can just buy. This is entirely Zombeavers. You can just ignore the hour in between. No, just kidding.
Again, the group of teenagers are loud, highly...
Were they teenagers?
Or 20-somethings, whatever
they acknowledge they're 20-something.
They're loud, highly sexual, and to me, largely indistinguishable.
Really? They didn't overreach a little bit with, I'm the sensitive chick, I'm the nerdy one with glasses, I'm the huge bitch, where the neighbor, when she calls her out on it, that was also some nice writing.
Yeah.
Where the one chick is trying to be so shocking, and like, oh yeah, and then the woman's just like, it's all right. My daughter's also a bitch whore, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was kind of nice.
Apparently, a lot of ladies are like this nowadays.
Oh yes, my daughter, not even that attractive.
The polite disdain of the locals. Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was actually pretty funny. They're probably used to it. Again, it was like a little bit of character detail that I thought was it added.
There's even the red herring guy who shows up and tells these kids that they shouldn't be messing
Smith
with the
with a Y. Get dressed, you bitches. Yeah.
And, they successfully kept on elevating the stakes. I mean...
There was a bear out of nowhere, by the way.
A Zombear shows up.
Another... First a bear, then a Zombear, which, by the way, have you seen Z Nation? Because Zombear.
Oh, is there Zombear in Z Nation?
There's a Zombear.
Nice. Well, and even in this case, it was a Zombear-beaver, because if you're bitten by a zombie,
you become a beaver.
You become a beaver zombie. So,
which I did not expect. I actually, when the first time that happened, I thought it was a dream sequence, to the point where I had a level of disdain, where I was like, really? Really, Zombeavers? Because, I had high standards for Zombeavers. And I was like, a dream sequence? And then it was all real, and it was all crazy as shit. It was...
There's a strange zombie movie, although less goofy than this, called Mulberry Street, where there's a zombie virus that starts with rats. So you start this weird rat affectation, and your teeth get all fucked up, and you turn all ratty. Sort of reminded me of that.
Zombeavers.
Yeah. It's a good time, but it's a fairly slight meal. Again, it's one of these...
There's not much to go off of, but I thought that they made it a hearty meal out of it. You know what I mean? I mean, even just the cheesy jokes where, they're barricading the whole place, and they're just like, and then the guy just sort of, you realize they're, made to eat through wood.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the chick does, or whatever. And it was like, we haven't thought this through.
There's an interesting reaction I had the first time we saw a full-on Zombeaver on screen. When
almost an hour in. It was very reminiscent of the thing.
The girl goes to take a shower, and she pulls a curtain, and there it is in the bathtub. They're squealing at her. Mm-hmm. It's funny because it's not a particularly realistic-looking puppet at all. I mean, it's very cartoonized, and it's sort of strange, vicious, perma-face that it has. But there's something so lovely about it, too.
It acts better than a current John Travolta. I just gotta say, it needs some props.
And it wasn't fucking Sharknado. We didn't get computer zombies.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that it was actual puppets. It was, the animatronics, and as cheesy as it was, and, the little hand that was, meh, slapping the side of the tub, which I was laughing at, by the way, because I pay attention to that shit. But just even, she has to react to this thing, and it's coming after her, and then just the whole cheese of, again, she's screaming about something. Everybody's like, "You're obviously insane."
Yeah.
Has she ever done that in the past? Has she ever freaked out? Like, I understand if it was me, because you guys probably think I'm like a weirdo, and I'd be like, "Man, it was a tiger," and you guys are like,
Oh, you're
down.
seeing Zombeavers again.
Her. But like, obviously she's never had a history of that. They were so fucking condescending, which was delightful because it wasn't in the shower. It just burst out of somewhere. You know? And I was sort of like, I thought that they would take it down a notch, where they would all go to the living room and they're all fine, then more noise or something. But no, they went with it, because you're right, an hour, 17 minutes. They were doing it for all they had. And yeah, it was, I liked that they just sort of stuck with the gore level, you know what I mean? Like, they kept it up.
The animals, as absurd as they were, like, they had some... Forgive the term, they had some teeth. When the guy's swimming in the water and he gets bit, it's not like he's just gonna chomp out of him. His fucking foot's off his leg.
Well, not only that, but usually I think that movies, just to draw it out, would be like, he was faking. That was what I was expecting. He was faking. I didn't expect, like, a supposedly main character to go down so quickly. Yeah. And he did. Yeah. And... by the way, he could run really well for a guy
who had his one foot, yeah.
But no, I was, I like that they did that. I like that they had the cheese, and I like that they acknowledged they had the cheese. Again, not a great script with dialogue or anything like that, but they kept the pace. They kept the pace nicely.
And I appreciated that it was sort of winking directly at us, too. There's this sort of...
They never went beyond fourth wall.
Yeah, there's this inclination to sort of comment on themselves while they're doing this, you know? And,
the one guy, are you really reading a book about beavers? And they're reading about it and became cheesy and about them because there was a love triangle. And I was just like, and this is where Voorhees burst through the door. You know, like, it was that level of, we are so spoofing all of these movies. Yeah. That's when the spoof became, like, very apparent to me.
And the fact that they know that you're watching the movie as a lark, probably drunk off your ass, just because it's Zombeavers, and that the creators knew it so much that by the end, when, spoilers, our main character is smushed by the same two idiots in the same car driving down the highway, we are
idiot
like
savants.
We are not devastated by her loss. We're not like, oh no, what a tragic ending. It just felt like the right ending. It felt like and credits.
Actually, which I have to say, like, you're saying just the same whatever, but the fact that it was the whore that lived, would really, like, resonated with me as a whore. No, okay, that came out wrong. But just the fact that, like, the chick, like, you were saying that they were indistinguishable, but I thought that the tropes were, like, there. It was, like, you know, the dumb bitch that was like, oh, I'm so mean. The other chick, I was so heartbroken. Like, you know, the goody two-shoes.
I mean, I could tell them from each other, but I mean, as far as movies like this.
Oh, in general, of course. They're rolled together. That's what it's supposed to be.
But typically, like, you're right. This character would have been one of the first to die, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the fact, as soon as she defenestrated herself, $10 word, I was really impressed by it. I was just like, wow, she has the balls that will to live. And actually, I think that that's when she changed to that sort of, like, lead girl character for me, when you find out that she survived. She was a survivor. And that's why at the end scene, I was like, yeah, they wrapped it up nicely. It was very, he hit the deer at the beginning and didn't fucking care. Hits her at the end of it, still kind of didn't fucking care. But I really, it made me think about it when she's walking down, like, the street by herself, and by the way, she left the axe, which really pissed me off. She was using it as a cane. But I was just sort of like, yeah, you know what? I want her to live. She had the drive to live. Don't be in the middle of the street. Life lesson. Life lesson, kids.
Yeah, just because you've defeated the Zombeavers does not mean you can defeat heavy traffic.
That's very true.